Hello everybody, welcome to IT Skills channel. My name is Aiden. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and actually install Server 2025 on Intel NUC. We have the Intel NUC Wall Street Edition. Let me show you. And we're going to go ahead and install Server 2025 on it. Already got it installed actually, and I'm going to wipe it and show you the process. That's what we're going to do. So let me go show you in this process over here. Let me go ahead and actually go to the properties. Yep, it is. You can see here, Intel NUC 64 gig. That's the name of it, i7. I named it that, but that's the model of the Intel NUC. You can see it's the NUC 12 Wall Street Edition, i7, and it's running Server 2025. So now let's do the same process over, and I'll show you entirety of it. So without further ado, first of all, I will copy some drivers that are native to Server 2025 because we will need them later on. Okay, we got all the driver we need. So let's go ahead and shut it down. And we're gonna go ahead and start to install the driver and go from have the ISO, and we can now go ahead build that server or slash our Intel NUC. So you can see the Intel NUC logo screen showing up. This is all normal. Now we get the final screen. Hey, what do you want to do here? We choose our language. We can go next. Next, and agree with the EULA. Next, and then Windows Server 2025, you could do something like Windows Pay As You Go, where you can pay monthly through Azure, or you can enter your product key. Or what I'm going to do in my case is I'm going to just say, I don't have a product key right now. And then I'm going to choose Windows Server 25 Desktop Edition or Data Center Edition with Desktop Experience. You can do standard, but I love Data Center. And anything else you choose will be the core. These two are the core. You don't want to mess with them unless you want to use server core. So let's do the desktop experience next. Agree with the EULA. Now we're going to clear some partition. We got a bunch of partitions that is not used. Let's delete them to condense them into two main partitions. I have two 2 TB hard drive, 1 TB each. And I, over time, installed a lot of things on each drive. And so that's why you see a lot of this one. This one is our USB that has the Windows Server 2025 ISO. And so this is also part of that. So the only two we got is disk 0, disk 1, and those are the ones we want. So we're going to install this on our disk 0 that has the free space. Let's select disk 0. We're going to install. Next, we're going to keep everything, and the installation now begins. The installation is going to take a little bit depending on what kind of storage you got. I got M.2 here. So I expect to wait maybe 2 more minutes and then we should be done. We're already at 30-something%. So you can see we're not waiting a whole lot. Okay, this is the time, guys, to tell you about iTeach, more about iTeach. Yeah, we've been making a lot of videos like this. We love for you to subscribe and help us grow so we can have a dedicated editor. Fun fact, we actually made 100 videos and never had a chance to edit it yet and post it. A lot of them are very good videos, and I believe you guys can benefit from it. There's a lot of certification videos in there. There's a lot of how-to guides there. But problem is I'm the only main creator and I don't have anyone to edit it. So thank you for those of you who stay patient, still come back to watch the channel. And those of you who are not, we're going to do our best. Consider becoming a member. Consider, you can. That will help us out. So now let's go back to the video. So it looks like the installation is halfway there. We can actually reboot the OS back to finishing the server installation. This one is also expect to wait about another 5 minutes, depending on your machine again. And so, or in this case, I may not even wait 5 minutes. It looks like we might be waiting only 2 minutes here. It's doing a lot of good things fast. Final reboot is coming. Okay, another about product key. We will just say, do this later. Now we're gonna pick up a nice fancy administrative password. Do not forget this and do not make it something simple. You'll need this later on, especially till you join the server to a domain. If you're gonna do a domain join server, that is. Some people may like their standalone server. I'm gonna join this to our domain though, so we can actually make it as enterprise as possible. So now that we are there, I'm gonna plug the thumb drives in to get the driver cleaned up, and then I'll be back. So I just want to talk about a little bit about what we're doing with this NUC. We're going to actually make this our VM server. I didn't explain the purpose in the beginning, but this is going to be our VM server. It's going to back up a bunch of things using our local storage. The reason I'm doing this, it prompted me to do this, is because we have a Nutanix environment that you've been using for testing over years now. And that environment I got from eBay is basically hardware failure left and right, and therefore I lost 40 servers in there. And I didn't have a proper home backup because it's a home machine. What could go wrong? But the difference is it's actually hosted some productive servers. And so because of that, that made it into where I need a backup now because I do have cool applications I built, some web apps, some monitoring solutions, Linux. So I do not want to lose them again. That's why I'm going to build a contingency plan with our Intel NUC as a VM backup. And we might use some Linux open source too. I'll bring the video in for those. So that's what we're going to do with this one. So let's go back to finish this. So we're going to hit accept to agree with the terms and condition. And we're going to just choose, it's just going to choose this first one, send diagnostic to Microsoft. There you go. Now our server is loaded. Our server 2025 is ready. Now if you click on here, you can see it just decided to expand the screen. So I need to actually change this to where it actually can be duplicated so you guys can see it. Let's change this display settings. And we're gonna change this to duplicate. Okay, so good now. We got our display setting going. We're not done though yet, but I'm gonna show you at least that this is server 2025. You saw it already happening. In case you have doubts or you skipped the video, you can see we're running Intel NUC on server 2025. But now let's check a couple things. Device manager. We're gonna check what drivers we're missing. So we're missing a couple drivers, network drivers, and etc. And I actually had to use some external Ethernet adapter to get the drivers. So, but you go to a website, if in case you're having problem with drivers, you need to go to a website by called. So you need to go to Google, and then once you go to Google, you just need to simply search for the NUC model you have, and then you can get into a website called Simply NUC. So if I just search for Intel NUC WHS i7 drivers, and then it's gonna come up with this. That's the Intel official website. Don't go there. You won't find anything there. You're gonna find a bunch of document. What you need to be is going to, this here. It looks like a phishing thing, but it's actually not. So you come over here, and then this is gonna load the website like this. It needs to be NUC 12. So let's come over here and search this again. And this time we should get into Simply NUC, and that way we can actually get to the direct to the driver. So if you click on here now, you're gonna find exactly the driver we're looking for. Basically, you're going to support.simplynuc.com portal, and then you're looking for the driver, BIOS, etc. That's what you're looking for. Here it is right now. So you're gonna click on here, and then from this point on, you choose your NUC, type in your choose NUC model. So if I do WSA, Wall Street Edition, i7, NUC 12, this is mine. And then from this point on, I can download driver pack for any operating system I want to. You have Ubuntu, Linux, Server 2025, etc. So it's really great way to get used to it, and it's gonna help you, basically cover your NUC. So hopefully you guys will use this to get your driver. But I already did get mine. Now I'm gonna go ahead and actually try a couple of things. I can actually either search for the driver automatically but it's gonna find anything, or I can point it to search for the folder. So let's just point to it. So let's do update driver, browse. Where is my driver located? It's inside my ISO folder, WHS. We're doing server 2025. Let me select the top folder, see if it's gonna let me do it. It found it. Perfecto. You gotta love it. Let's try this Ethernet. Ethernet is one thing that I know it's not gonna find, but we might as well try. Yeah, it's not gonna find Ethernet. Everything else I believe is available except Ethernet. Ethernet is something you're gonna struggle, and I haven't found a solution for it yet. But every other driver will be under that folder, and we'll be able to update it. I think Ethernet and then other driver, I can't remember the name of it. It's unknown driver basically. But for what I did to get around having a network connectivity, I end up just getting a dongle, like a USB-C to Ethernet dongle, and I was able to connect that to the NUC, and then that gave me internet access. That one worked out of the box. I didn't need a driver for that. You can get any of them that you think they'll be affordable. I think I got this one from like Staples. I went to actual store to get that. So I think Amazon probably gonna have to give you a good deal. And this is my network adapter, the Ethernet gigabit Ethernet adapter, the USB 3.0. So I'm gonna update the rest of the drivers though. We're done, guys. So almost done. We're gonna update our sound. Remember, we're gonna want the desktop experience because sometimes I may want to play quick videos or check something out. Even though this is a server, it's still a Nuke. It's still a portable. So it's not going to be super loud. It's still modular enough. So I may do some testing with other sorts, which is why I wanted to do the backup, but I also don't want it to only just run as a server all the time. I can actually use it for other aspect of it. Because again, it's a home lab. In an enterprise, I will never recommend or never use server for anything else but server related stuff. But my house, it is the house. Sometimes I have my kids use this Nuke device to do some of their homework. So that's why I want it to be still accessible to them, but not in a way where they can't interact with it, like, you know. So updating the driver. We got how many drivers left? 4, 5, give or take. We got 4 now. Two of them will not work. So technically we only got 3 left. That was a Bluetooth one. Yeah, so we're down to 4 still. But I know technically it's 2 because 2 of them will not work. The Ethernet will not work. This is actually one of them that's not gonna work, which is fine, which is great. Let's try the USB device. That one will work. And then let's try this one. That may work also. It does work. So yeah, we're done. We're done. Those 2 are unknown one is unknown, and there's no driver for that on server 2025 or any other format. And this is the Ethernet. I don't have a driver for that either. Eventually, I'll probably fix it. And if I do, I'll post a video about it. But for now, we can move. I can use my dongle as an Ethernet adapter. I'm just going to start configuring the server. So what we're going to do first is we're going to need to name the server, give it IP, then we're going to join into our domain. That's the plan. So let's go right click this PC. And then from this point on, you're going to go ahead to properties. We're going to need to go ahead and actually rename the server. So here it is. We're going to name this ITKY. It's our prefix, Nuke Veeam. So that's going to be our Nuke Veeam server. Next, I'm going to restart later because we're going to need to actually configure the network connection, enable RDP. We got a lot to do. So let's come over here to control panel. I still like the old school way of network adapter management. So let's come over here, connect here. We got an IP address right now. What's our IP address? And then is it pointing to our DHCP? It's down because it was hosted on the same domain, so it's down. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. Properties, IB4. Let's connect to it here. 192.168.1.1.116. Gonna give it 116. 192.168.1.492. This is gonna be pointing to our only existing DC, and we're gonna ping that DC to make sure it works. Actually, let's go ahead to command prompt ping. Okay, our DC active and live. That's good. And so now we're gonna go ahead and actually hit OK, close. It should be working because we have plenty of IP available, so that works. Now we're gonna do a quick reboot, and I'm gonna unplug my thumb drive once more. So on this reboot, once it does reboot, we'll join it to the domain, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and do a quick reboot. So click on start button, restart. All right, the server is quick. And again, you gotta love the speed on this. It's super fast, ready for us to do that. It's amazing. And the fact that we have the specs of a server, it means that we can do good things here. You don't need a really crazy enterprise hardware. As long as you got a Nuke, you don't need nobody, you know? So then right now, from this point on, now I'm gonna first of all change my time zone to the right one because our domain needs to be on the right time zone for this to work correctly. So there you go. Now we're gonna join this to the domain. This PC, properties. Okay, so from point on, we can just go ahead and actually, obviously, you know, and we want to do this first of all by enabling RDP because RDP is amazing. We're going to do that, and we're going to go ahead to next. I have actually a MDT server, but obviously if the MDT server was running inside, you know, my environment, it died along with it. Such a pain. But anyways, let's go ahead and join to our domain, and we can go from there. And this is an error you get sometimes when you're dealing with server 2025. It's a known error. Don't worry, guys. You can fix that in a second. So it doesn't mean your DNS is wrong or anything like that. It just means that IPv6 is not playing ball correctly. And we need to disable IPv6 for this part to work. After that, you can re-enable it back. So where is IPv6? Here it is. Hit OK. As soon as you hit OK, you come back here. Hit OK. And then now hit OK. It's going to work. Now we're getting prompted to enter our domain credentials, and we are entering it right now. And we should be getting welcome to ithky.org domain shortly, if everything credential-wise was good. If we don't get welcome, then we have to check ourselves. In credential, it might be that domain is not in the right state. Yeah. It says that following attempt to occur to join the domain password username. I think we butcher our password, which is something you gotta lovely see it. So we're gonna go ahead and type in. So we're gonna hit enter. And now we should be able to join unless our password is still butchered. It normally doesn't ask me that one, but again, we're running on a tight domain right now because, yeah, it looks like we got a welcome. Look at this. Welcome to the domain. It just took a little bit. There you go. We're joined the domain. We're happy. It is perfect world. All right, now we're going to log in with a domain credential and we're going to get started. Actually, let's log in as a domain credential, not the local user again. So we're going to log in as our domain user. Those of you who love soccer, you know that 9, the only Ronaldo that exists in the history books of as a legend, fully gifted. We love to, but this Ronaldo, it was the best Ronaldo, in my opinion. In fact, comment below if you think Cristiano was the best, or Cristiano is the best, better than Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian one. So anyways, we logged in as a domain account. You can see here, everything is looking good. Now what we're gonna do is actually, we're gonna, go things, verifying our RDP is enabled. And we're gonna go ahead and actually make secondary disk because we have 2 terabyte storage. So we want to do that. So let's check our RDP is still good. It's still enabled. Perfect. You gotta love to see that. Now what we can do is we're gonna actually verify. We're gonna go ahead and enable Hyper-V role. Let's try to do it without doing anything special. Actually, I want to see if it's gonna work off the bat or if I have to do something weird to it. So let's just go to add roles and features. Next. Take this, obviously, our Hyper-V, hit add, and we're gonna hit next. Use the Ethernet as our Hyper-V controller. Next, allow the server to send and receive migration from virtual machine. Yes. Okay, this is where I needed this to work, the other disk to be good. So because I'm not gonna store my VMs inside this C drive, that's not my intention. So let's see if we can get the other disk to work. So we're gonna need to go to disk management and we're gonna make a folder for it for the other disk. So let's come over here to disk management or computer management. In disk management, we're gonna shrink by 800, and we're gonna put our Hyper-Vs there. So we don't touch other disks. So there you go, it's there. Let's just do this. New simple volume. Next. We'll do Hyper-V. This should be fast. There you go, it is fast. All right, and this one we're gonna just call it Veeam because we might put the Veeam backup in there, some of them. Okay, so there you go, our disk is set up. Let's go back to server manager. We're gonna sort this out by saying put everything in D drive. We're gonna call this PC, D drive, new folder, Hyper-V data. And then this one we're gonna go do the same thing. We're gonna name Hyper-V VMs. Okay, we're gonna do this done. Next, we start. Yes, next. Okay, now we should be almost there. Okay, the installation is complete. All right, guys, at this point, you can see that we're doing a lot of good things inside Intel NUC. If you don't mind, please hit the like button, subscribe, so more people can watch this and get help from it. Thank you. Let's go back to the video now. I'm messing up my password so badly here now. Okay, we got it. Our Hyper-V should be ready, up and running. We specify the storage location. So if I go to Hyper-V, search for Hyper-V, there's Hyper-V Manager. Let's click on Open. This one installation is complete. It's just telling us we did successfully installed it, which we didn't expect to be a problem anyways. So now we're gonna hit Open, click on this, import. We're gonna say new VM, new virtual machine. Let's check Hyper-V settings first. We got everything set up, looks like. We got 2 seamless migration. We got our security enhanced mode, and here replication configuration, and then you got your enhanced sessions. Looks good. So because this video is running so long, I'm thinking about potentially stopping it because the fact of the matter is that I don't want to cram too many videos, like a lot of things on the one video. So I think this is a good first video. We're gonna actually do the rest of it on another video. So because it's definitely gonna have to get done. We're not gonna back out of it. So that gives you about 40-minute video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I do want to say thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for staying tuned to the channel. We do know that we took a long hiatus and we're back now. We're trying to bring more daily, relevant message, always the latest and greatest technology. That's what speaks to us. And please, comment, suggest what you want to see. That will help. Maybe you can tailor towards you guys' experience. Until next time, subscribe, consider becoming a member. Anything you can do to help us will be great so we can get a chance to edit those videos. I am gonna repeat again, we have almost made over 100 videos that we haven't posted to the channel. They are all good videos, and they are, some of them I collaborate with other people, but I cannot do it because they need to be edited. If you do want to see those videos, consider subscribing. As we grow, I think we can maybe afford to hire somebody that could edit the part-time for us. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.